Yes, I think so. Hello. I thought that we'd talk about a couple of things for this lightning talk. Organising the Yapsi Conference, nice, simple task. European court and love poetry. This is, after all, the theme is the Renaissance of poetry. There's very, very few talks about the Renaissance. And time travel. We had a little bit of a look and realised that my talks are 5 minutes long only, so that might be a little bit optimistic. So we're only talking about Italian court and love poetry. So first of all, Guido Guinizelli. He wrote a poem called Al Cor Gentile, which means to the gentle heart. And he wrote about how love is naturally drawn to only those who are most noble and pure in thought and mind. A very nice sentiment, I think. This other guy here, Guido Guinizelli, he wrote a poem called Ai lasso ora stagione doler tanto, which means, oh woe is me, now is the season of great pain. So basically, an emo. Dante, who you may have heard of, he invented the word dolce stil nuovo, the phrase in fact, which means a sweet new style. It was new back in the 11th century. He wrote, we discovered, a poem called All'orga Angelicato. And we can, look, that seems a bit strange, because that means to the angelic organiser. Well, what could that possibly mean? And we looked into it a little bit more, and we discovered that the line of the poem was in fact All'orga Angelicato di nome Giuseppe. And this, of course, is a great coincidence, because one of our co-organisers is called Giuseppe D'Angelo. And so, Angelo sounds like Angelicato, angelic, and we think it could be the kind of pun that those Renaissance poets used to like to make. But how could that be? I mean, time travel wasn't possible in the time of the Renaissance. I don't think it's possible now, but who knows? We have to look into this further, so you can imagine. So, let's look at Leonardo da Vinci. He was an artist, he was a scientist. Was he also a time traveller? We looked through his notebooks and we discovered that he'd invented a helicopter. He hadn't actually got around to building it, but he invented it. He also invented the tank. Again, he never got around to building it. We discovered in his notebooks there's no record of him actually having built this, but by now we were beginning to suspect. We did some more research, and we flew to Paris, to the Louvre Museum, to have a look at this painting by Annie. It's from the 19th century, but it's based on reputable historical sources. It's about the death of Leonardo. So there's Leonardo dying, and there's a king who's obviously come to listen to his last dying words. And there's plenty of people in the shadows in this painting. Look at this figure there, for example. If we blow that up, we see it looks very similar to Giuseppe D'Angelo, our co-organiser. This lady on the right there, if we blow her up, we see is that Michele Beltrame. And finally, this gentleman in the shadows here is Larry Ward. Larry Ward has a time machine. Because we already know from David Conway's talks that Larry is immortal, which I think explains this adequately. So, here's a nice map of Renaissance Europe, and I think we should demonstrate a little bit of a problem with the way we've organised this Yapsi Conference. Now, here's me in the north of Anglia, as it was. Further south is now Gianni Ceccarelli, Dakar, who's now moved to London. We have Larsen, who's in Barcelona. Thank you. Over here in Austria is Dada. And finally, now, we do have some authors who actually are in Italy. There's Artas, Michele, and there's the angelic Peppe. Now, you may have noticed, of course, that the map is upside down, because they haven't really standardised on north at the top. But that's fine, we can swap the map around, and now the people are in the wrong place, so I think you'll agree that's much better. Now one of the problems you can see is there's very few people actually in Italy. And we can do all kinds of stuff. We can send emails, we can get sponsorship, we can bike share till the cows come home. But there's things like organising buses and dinners and venues and so on that we can't do. So a lot of work has fallen to these guys. And we suspect they had to go back to Leonardo's notebooks and build his time machine in order to get everything done. So thank you very much to all the organisers, but especially all the Italian ones, including Giuseppe and Michele. And a warning to Andrew from Riga, please make sure that your organisers do not accidentally change the past. Thank you very much.